I want to ask you some questions about the very busy spider in the desert. If you haven't had a chance to listen to the story yet, click on the other link and it will be me reading you the story. But now here are some questions for you. So, if one of your goals is to work on questions or vocabulary, you might want to stay tuned. All right, number 1. Where does the spider live? If you said in the desert, you are correct. My next question. When did the spider land on the sand? Do you remember when? The answer is early one morning. And how did the spider get there? The wind blew her into the desert. That was a pretty strong wind, huh? What did the spider begin to do first? The answer is she began to spin a web with her silky thread. Now, I want you to think about a couple of questions that go along with our thinking maps and our thinking sheets and my chart that I have that has the song on it. Green group, blue dew. What does it look like? What is it made of? Pink parts, white when and where. What else do I know? Let's share. All right, so if we had to describe the rattlesnake, I want you to think about that chart. Green group, that is asking what group or category does a rattlesnake belong to? A rattlesnake is a what? Is a rattlesnake a vehicle? No. Is a rattlesnake a supply? No. What is a rattlesnake? A rattlesnake is a... Did somebody say animal? A rattlesnake is an animal. What kind of animal? A farm animal? I hope not. A pet? Not a rattlesnake. Oh, did I hear somebody say a desert animal? You are so smart. Kiss your brain. Yes, a rattlesnake is a desert animal. If I do blue, do. What does a rattlesnake do? It can do a lot of things, right? So a rattlesnake can slither. A rattlesnake can stick out its tongue. A rattlesnake can shake its rattle. A rattlesnake can bite you. And other animals. And a rattlesnake can eat different kinds of animals. So a rattlesnake can do a lot of things, even though it doesn't have any arms or legs. All right, so we did green group, blue dew. What does it look like? Ooh, I kind of just gave you a clue when I said it doesn't have any legs or arms. A rattlesnake could be described as long. A rattlesnake has different patterns on its body. A rattlesnake has a different shaped head than the rest of its body. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in pink parts. So, what does it look like? This one looks to be a tannish color with maybe some brown and black, maybe a little bit of white. And like I said, long would be long and thin. Can anybody think of another word for thin? Skinny is another word for thin. What is the opposite of thin? The opposite of thin is thick. The opposite of skinny is fat. Now here's kind of an interesting thing. Actually, I will save it until we get to what else do I know? Let's share. All right, green group, blue do. What does it look like? What is it made of? Now, this is kind of tricky when we say what is it made of, because it's not an object. It's not like a table that's made out of wood. But what is it made of? It has skin. It has body parts. To be honest, I don't know the body parts offhand. I'd have to look that up because I think it has one heart. But again, don't quote me on that. That'll be a research project we do later. It also has a rattle. That's pretty much the most important thing I think I know about it. Oh, parts, if I wanted to talk about, or what is it made of? I'm sorry. It has venom in its body. And venom is another word for a certain kind of, do you know what that is? Venom is poison. And poison can either really hurt you or in some cases, it can kill you. So we have to be very careful of animals like rattlesnakes because they are venomous. That means they are poisonous. All right, green group, blue do. What does it look like? What is it made of? Pink parts. I got ahead of myself. I said the rattle was very important. That goes into pink parts. Yes, the rattle is very important. Another part that's very important, his sharp teeth are very important because that is how he gets the venom in you. Because the venom is in his saliva. And I don't know it's a he. It's in its saliva. Excuse me. I'm using the wrong pronoun now. Okay. So we did pink parts, white, when and where. So when would you see a rattlesnake? When you guys think if you were hiking in the desert, when would you see it? Well, a rattlesnake is cold-blooded. So a rattlesnake comes out when the sun is shining so that it can get the sun's rays to warm its body up. And so a lot of times people say that they see rattlesnakes in the springtime during the day because they're trying to warm their bodies up. I'm sure there are other times that people see rattlesnakes too. I have only seen a couple when I have hiked in Arizona, but I stayed very far away and I did not make any sudden movements because that can freak it out. All right, where would we see them? In the desert. Okay, so we did green group, blue do. What does it look like? What is it made of? Pink parts, white when and where. What else do I know? Let's share. What was the thing I was going to tell you guys about when I said, oh, we'll save that to let's share? I think it was that if a rattlesnake eats something, that, oh yeah, because I was saying that it's thin and skinny, but when a rattlesnake eats something, it's able to actually open its jaws really big and or its mouth really big, and it can eat something way bigger than its thinnest part of its body. And so then if we saw a rattlesnake, it would be thin, and then you would be able to see a bulge in its body from what it ate. Does anybody know what a rattlesnake eats? I want you to think about it, and we can talk about it another time because I have to look it up too. I have notes on it, but I don't have them right up here. So think about what a rattlesnake eats. Do rattlesnakes want to bite humans? No, they do not want to bite humans. Why do they bite humans? What are they doing if they bite a human? If you said they are trying to protect themselves because they're scared or they're on their defense, then yes, that's correct. A rattlesnake isn't just going around looking for humans to bite on hikes. They bite a human if they're feeling like they're in danger and they need to protect themselves. So you never want to touch a rattlesnake, not with a stick, not with your hand, not with a rock, nothing, because rattlesnakes are very dangerous, but they live in the desert, and that is also where we live, so you must be very careful. I'm going to ask you a few more questions, and I want you to think about using that song to describe some of these other animals, like the lizard and the javelina, coyote, owl, jackrabbit. Wait a second, is a cactus an animal? And can it talk? No, it is not an animal and it cannot talk. But I made the story up, so I made it talk. Scorpion is another animal that you can describe, a roadrunner. And then this is the end of the story. So, what I want to know from you guys is when did she go to sleep? She went to sleep at nighttime. And what did she do all day? Do you remember what she was doing all day? She was spinning her web. Once she finished, she went to bed because it had been a very busy day. Did the spider ever answer any of the animals or the cactus? Nope, she didn't. Okay, guys, so what I want you to do is I want you to think about how to describe those animals, okay? And the cactus, you can describe that too. Cactus wouldn't belong to the group animals, though. What group would it belong to? I want you to think about that, okay? And I will see you next time so we can talk about more things desert.